Welcome everybody, Firebetic Adventures. Construction updates abound. The Great Walls of Magic Kingdom. And what does this mean for your future trip to the Walt Disney World Resort? We're going to cover Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios and show you all of the construction progress so far and also how that may impact your upcoming Disney World trip, or you might be planning a Disney World vacation. Some of you, maybe for the very first time. These are going to be some important things to watch and good information to know, because the landscape of this park is going to be very different from now moving forward for the next 3 to 5 years as these new projects get underway. We'll talk about the projects. We'll go over, what's going to be open, what's not going to be open, and how that's going to impact wait times and everything during high crowd times, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. However, we'll see what Christmas looks like this year, because right now they're like practically giving away vacations here during Christmas. It's crazy. I've never seen deals like that ever at Christmas. So come along with me, everybody. Let's get our ass in gear. Let's go check out Magic Kingdom to start, and then we'll head over to Animal Kingdom, followed by Hollywood Studios. We'll show you all the construction updates and all the projects. So to start with, construction walls around the train station. Right here on Main Street, USA. A lot of scrim, a lot of construction walls. Not sure how long this one's going to take. This has been like this for a little bit now. And there is only one way to get up to the train. And one way down. Also, the train now, because of the construction, is only going 2 directions, forwards and backwards. That is it. So if you were to get on the train right now at Main Street Station, you will ride the train backwards to Fantasyland, and then from Fantasyland you'll ride the train forward back to Main Street USA, back and forth, back and forth. It's going to be like that probably for 3 to 5 years, or however long it takes to get these projects done. Maybe 20 years. Who knows? So if you're expecting the Grand Circle tour of the Magic Kingdom, unfortunately, you're going to have to visit one of the other Disney parks, Disneyland or the international parks. The next Grand Circle tour, 2030, 2029. It's hard to imagine when you think of it like that. And also, let it be known, Main Street is just kind of Main Street for the moment. All the 4th of July decorations have come down. The next decorations that show up here probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, hard to believe, will be the Halloween decorations as we get ready for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. No, I will not be attending that. I think it is an incredible ripoff. I'm saying that because nothing has changed with that party in years. They haven't changed anything. The only thing that changed were the fireworks a couple years ago. That's it. And they may have added a couple characters or two, but the overall experience hasn't changed at all. We are currently right in the middle of July. So I would say July 30th, August 1st, 2nd, when we'll start seeing the first signs of fall here at Walt Disney World. Best time of year in the theme park world. The fall and winter. Oh, and might I add, we are also just shy of T-minus 1 month until the start of college and professional football. Can't wait for college game day, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Oh, and one more thing, folks, stop being an asshole to the cast members. The cast members don't wake up every morning and go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give Becky and Steve a bad day today just because I've got it out for them. If they tell you can't do something, there's a reason for it. Just freaking listen to them. Stop with the damn attitudes. God, you people. What the hell's wrong with you? Do what you're told. That's it. All right, we're going to start here in Liberty Square. This is where it all starts. Well, the majority of it anyway. The reason I want to show this is so people can get an idea of what they're going to be coming into. There's going to be a lot of changes here. And because these walls are still going in, we're not really sure how that's going to affect crowd flow, or even, what this is going to do to wait times as we move into the quote-unquote busier seasons. But judging how the 4th was, I'm not sure if it's going to be that busy at Thanksgiving and Christmas. I mean, we'll have yet to see. I mean, this is right now. We're in Liberty Square. The park opened about 2 hours ago. For summertime, it's really not that busy. They've reported a lot on low crowds. And the thing is, the people that have been reporting on low crowds, they've been catching a lot of guff from a lot of the pixie dusters. Well, just to prove it, it's no bullshit. This is actual current time. There is not that many people here. Liberty Square. This is where it all starts. This is the Liberty Belle station. This is all cordoned off with rolling planters and work walls. Let's see where these work walls go. So they stretch from the edge of the building here. So you can't see the rivers of America right now from here. The other thing I've noticed already, just with these walls being up, it has blocked the airflow from the rivers of America, because right down this way, you could see the straightaway where the riverboat would come down past Tom Sawyer Island. That was a nice breezeway. There is no breeze anymore. It's just stale air. The other thing that this impacts is this was the extended queue for the Haunted Mansion when the lines would get long. So they don't have that anymore. So now the line, once it exceeds the queue, it's going to greatly spill out into the park like this. And it is warm. I will tell you folks, there's nary a breeze to be found right now, because these walls block all of it. These freaking solar umbrellas, man. So yeah, the Haunted Mansion's 45 minutes. Normally, they would be able to take the queue right on the other side of that work wall and kind of wind them in there, because that was also kind of a covered queue, so you'd be out of the sun. But with that all being under construction now, the only place to wait outside of the main queue is in the direct sunlight. I'm gonna tell you, if they do end up having a busy Thanksgiving and Christmas, this queue line is going to stretch all the way back to Splash Mountain. So we're down here by Haunted Mansion. So this is the end of the line where the cast members standing. And once again, yes, the Haunted Mansion line is a bit longer now, but you got to think, you got a lot of attractions taken out of circulation now. You know, yeah, they always said not a lot of people rode the riverboat. It's arguable, but it gives people something else to do. You got to remember, moving forward between now and especially at Christmas, you have the riverboat gone now, you have the Tom Sawyer Island out of commission, and you also don't have Big Thunder Mountain. Those are all attractions that serve a purpose in spreading out crowds. And the other attraction that's going to be going away shortly, I'll be showing you that one here next. We're going to follow these work walls. I tell you, man, it's a great wall of Magic Kingdom. This is crazy. The other question I have is, how is this going to impact the nighttime parade that's going to be debuting on Sunday night? It's going to run opposite of all the other parades. It's going to start on Main Street USA and then come down this way and then finish up behind Splash Mountain. Yeah, I'm going to call it Splash Mountain. Get over it. And so when you're watching this in certain areas, you're going to have not the rivers of America as the backdrop. You're going to have these construction walls. So right now, these construction walls, at least at current time, end right here. And now we can get ourselves a little look at the rivers of America. They've already started scaffolding work. Holy cow, look at this. Over by Haunted Mansion. They got scaffolding up over there. Looks like they've cleared out a bunch of foliage there. And then this area down here, That used to be the extended queue for the Haunted Mansion, where they would keep people down there and keep them out of the heat. But again, we don't have that option anymore. So I thought we'd take a look at this while we can, because I'm not sure how much longer we're going to have a look at this. And you can already see they're starting to drain the water level. You can see the water line right there. It's gone down about almost 2 feet, I would say. You can really see it over here on the wall, right here and right here. The other thing I've noticed too is all the lights are tagged. They have green tags hanging from them. So I'm wondering if that means keep these. We're going to utilize them later in the new project. If they're smart, hopefully they'll do that. You know, do not destroy this. Man, this is going to suck not having this. It really is. Because I try to picture, you know, when this reopens, you're going to have Liberty Square here. And then from Liberty Square, you're going to look out onto what, as the concept art shows, giant mountains with cascading waterfalls. Now, that'll look nice. But then you're going to have cars zipping around in here somewhere in the Liberty Square area. I don't see how it's going to blend in. We still have this area here without the work walls. And right here, right by this famed lamp post right here, this will forever be a spot in history. This is where I stood and watched the Liberty Belle make its final lap around the rivers of America before it permanently closed. I still think this is going to go down as one of the greatest blunders in theme park design history. And what's crazy is when you look at the sheer amount of space that's around here, they didn't have to do this. I am going to keep saying that. They didn't have to do this. You can hear a bunch of power tools going on over there, taking things down. I would imagine, though, once they start dismantling everything, they're going to probably wall all this off. Which, again, if they do that, I'm not sure if they're going to bring the walls out to the actual walkway or if they're going to put the walls here on this boardwalk, because this boardwalk actually serves a purpose when it's insanely busy and for parade times. Because while you have people jammed up here in parade time, if you're not interested in watching the parade, you can breeze right through here. Hopefully this stays for that purpose, especially in busy times. Magic Kingdom will probably be the park we spend the most time at as far as construction updates, because there's just a lot to see here. And you can see where the work walls pick back up right here on the Splash Mountain Bridge. I don't know if you can see it on here, but you can see those lamp posts there have red tags on them. So I've seen green and red tags so far. I think back to the first time I visited here. February 2015, on my birthday. And it was a truly amazing experience. I'm glad I got to see Disney World as it was before they started doing all this nonsense after 2020. Well, even you could argue even before that, you know, when they started tearing apart Great Movie Ride and getting rid of all the classic attractions to put in other stuff that nobody really cares about. But I'm glad I got to have that experience. And it was, I'll forever remember it. You know, the free fast passes. That was one of the things I was most excited about when I got my annual pass for the first time in 2016. I could make fast passes whenever I wanted to. I'd come to the park, make a bunch of fast passes. It was actually fun. It had an element of fun in it. And I think that's one of the things I miss the most. And then also, just the attention to detail. You know, you look at old Disney attractions, the attention to detail in there. Look at Animal Kingdom. and the attractions there and the restaurants and the level of detailing in there. I honestly don't think that the current Disney Imagineers have that level of talent to do that. I really don't. You know, I'll be curious to see what Piston Peak looks like here in the middle of Liberty Square in Frontierland, but I can't imagine it being on the scale of, you know, the Nepal area and the Expedition Everest area that they completely recreated from the real thing. That's talent. And I don't think this current crop of Imagineers has that. Either that or they just have cut their talent down so much and they just tell them, I don't care what your ideas are, you design it this way or you're out of here. And it could be that too. So you got a bunch of work walls here. Oh, surprise, surprise, surprise. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is not running and the water is emptied out of it. That's never a good sign. When the water's been emptied out of it, that means there's been a complete reset of the ride. And they do that for safety purposes. The reason I know that is because working at SeaWorld, when Journey to Atlantis gets shut down for whatever reason, and it has to go down for a long time, they drain the water out of it. So one, the boats don't move, and two, they can get down into the trough to do work if they have to. You can even see here the water level is definitely going down. So that would explain why Haunted Mansion's line is so long, because you have the Splash Mountain / Tiana's Bayou Adventure out of commission, and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is under current construction. So there's nothing over in this area. This area has probably two of the most popular rides in Magic Kingdom, outside of over in Tomorrowland there. Big Thunder is rumored to open up in January, but there's another rumor saying it might be longer because they've encountered some problems while working on this, meaning the coaster car did not pass its envelope test. And what an envelope test is, they put a cage around a roller coaster car that simulates the farthest reach somebody would have, and they pull it around the track using ratchet straps. They pull it really slowly. They make sure it has plenty of clearance. And apparently there was a certain area where the envelope actually hit the rocks. So they have to rethink that and redesign it. So it passes through there. Now they got to do the envelope testing again. So it might be past January, which again, people that are planning their vacations, especially the rest of this year and through December and Christmas, it's going to be a different experience, folks, because there's a lot closed here and a lot more that is going to close, and it's greatly going to affect wait times at other attractions. That's why I'm showing you all this, because it's one thing for some of the YouTube Disney news outlets to report on it, which I'm glad they do, but it's another thing to actually be here and film it in person. You know, the one side I really like watching is WDW Pro and That Park Place. Those two channels catch a lot of flack from the Disney diehards and the pixie dusters about, oh, their information is false and they're spreading false information. They're not, folks. This is all real. It's just the pixie dusters are so high on their own pixie dust, they can't think logically or clearly. And then it becomes the Greta Thunberg. How dare you? How dare you speak out against Disney World? I feel bad for guests. I see a lot of guests walking around, their phones out, confused, like, where do we go? There's nothing working over here. This is why, ladies and gents, if you're going to spend the thousands of dollars that is required to come here, especially if you don't live here in Florida or nearby the parks, you really, really, really need to think about what your priorities are. If it's attractions and the overall experience of the park, you're probably going to want to wait a while. 3 to 5 years at least. If you don't care about that, and you don't care about spending 5, 10, 15, even up to 20 grand, and have 15% of the overall Disney World Resort under construction, well, by all means. But I think it's fair to have a look at it from this point of view, to show you what your money is going to get you for the rest of this year and the next 3 to 5 years. And then when you have, and again, because the attraction count now is so low because everything that's under construction, when you have a major ride like this go down, it greatly impacts the wait times on the other attractions. So again, outside of the Haunted Mansion area, you can see there's not a lot of people here. And if you take Tiana's Bayou Adventure Splash Mountain, put that back in commission, Haunted Mansion probably comes way down in wait time, because on this side of the park now, the Haunted Mansion, that's the only other ride open right now. That's it. It used to be Haunted Mansion, Liberty Belle, Tom Sawyer Island Riverboats, Splash Mountain, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Right now, it's just the Haunted Mansion. So in Adventureland, more of the same, more work walls. This is where the new pirate-themed bar is going to be. It should be known, too, that Pirates of the Caribbean is also broken down this morning. Once again, now it makes more sense that Haunted Mansion has the wait time it does. My goodness. So on this side of the park, there are no attractions open. None. Until you get to the tiki room right here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Did it open? Yeah.
Did it open? Nah. This is real, folks. I'm not using camera tricks or anything else. This is very real today. This entire side of Magic Kingdom is out of commission. And as I mentioned back over in Frontierland, for folks that are coming here to visit, the average Disney World vacation is somewhere between $5,000 and $15,000. This is what you're getting for that kind of money at current time. When people are starting to queue up for the Swiss Family Treehouse, you know there's a lot of rides out of commission. One more stop. We're going to cross the hub and head into Tomorrowland and show you the future projects getting ready to take place there. But look at this. It's 12 o'clock noon. This is the hub. July 14th, 2025. Anybody else miss the old Tomorrowland sign? I know I do. The steampunk design, so much better. So here you are. This is the consequence of having multiple attractions closed all at once. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. 35 minutes. Norfolk and Way, that's 35 minutes. That line goes all the way back there. And it is warm today, folks. So I'm stopping here by Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin because this ride is also going to be under construction in about a month. And it's going to be another one of those multi-month lengthy refurbishment projects. Yes, it's going to be wonderful when it's all done. It's going to be great. It's going to look like Disneyland's version. However, this is yet another attraction in a long line of attractions here at Disney World that's going to be out of commission, and they're doing so heading into arguably the busiest time of the year. Fall break, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So imagine taking all these people and now putting them back into the park and having them to try to figure out what other attractions to ride because now this is unavailable. So basically heading into the fall break, Thanksgiving, and Christmas time, which is known to be the most busiest time of year here outside of spring break and what used to be the 4th of July, you're going to have the Liberty Square Riverboat gone, Tom Sawyer Island and the rafts all gone. You're going to have Big Thunder Mountain Railroad gone, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin gone, and not to mention all of the other refurbishment projects that are going to take place right after Christmas, and that's just here at Magic Kingdom. Think about what that's going to do to the overall experience. Think of how many work walls are going to be all over the place on top of what's already here now. It's something to really think about, folks, as you're planning your trip, if you're thinking about doing so, or if you have one currently planned. Like I said, from now until especially the end of the year, and then starting next year, moving forward for the next 3 to 5 years, at least. Oh yeah, and I forgot to add, you got to add the train in there, because the train's only going back and forth between 2 stations. It's not doing the Grand Circle Tour anymore, at least not for 3 to 5 years. And we have some more work walls over here in Tomorrowland. This is where the old Cool Ship used to be. Hopefully that's coming back. They're building something there, but nobody knows what quite yet. One of the next areas we're going to visit here is the Grand Floridian, Magic Kingdom's or Walt Disney World's flagship resort. This is the one that a lot of people talk about, and frankly, if you ask somebody which resort would you like to stay at the most, people that are relatively newer to Disney World, most everybody is going to say the Grand Floridian, because again, it's one you hear the most about. So let me take you inside and show you what's going on in there. It should be noted too, this is one of the most expensive resorts on property, and it's part of the Disney Vacation Club collection. So right before you get in, as usual, construction. Good morning. So this is the current lobby. We got work walls over here where the Grand Floridian Orchestra used to be. This is where the front desk was. So this is all work walls now. And the Grand Floridian bar. And we'll talk about that later. That's going in over here where the iconic birdcage used to be. So the entire lobby is full of work walls. One thing to note, for Christmas this year, the iconic gingerbread house, which sits right here, will not be here this year because, you know, apparently it's going to take 8 months or so to build a bar. So that won't be done till mid-November. So they're not going to have the gingerbread house this year. The tree will be here at some location. If you're booking your vacation and you want to see the famous Grand Floridian gingerbread house, it will not be this year, which I think is a bunch of garbage, because if they really wanted to, they could do it. I think it's Disney, for crying out loud. And then right here, got more work. This is the stairway that used to have that beautiful tapestry here and all the wallpapering. I hope they're not tearing all that out for just bland white walls. And then all the way down here, this is the opposite side I was on. Like I said, it's all work walls. This is going to be around for quite a while. I think till the middle to late November, I believe. So that, ladies and gents, is everything at Magic Kingdom. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin is expected to begin its refurbishment starting in the middle of August next month. The other reason I'm making this video, and for Magic Kingdom specifically, it gives folks something to think about if you're planning on attending this Halloween party this year. You know, the ticket prices went up again, another, was it 15 or 20%? Some of the later dates are $229, which after tax, you're almost at $240. Yeah, that's the cost of a one-day park hopper. So you're going to spend well over $200 to go to a Halloween party in which the park is at least 15% under construction. Food for thought, you know. The next project, we're headed to Animal Kingdom. There'll be a short visit there. Same thing with Hollywood Studios, kind of a short visit. But it's also going to tie all of this together. Oh, Animal Kingdom too. Disney World's hottest theme park by 10 degrees, proven by research. Dang, this freaking Tesla next to me sounds like it's going to explode. All that power to cool them freaking batteries off, man. Welcome, everybody, here to Disney's Anal King. Whoops. There we go. Animal Kingdom. Head was in the way. Animal Kingdom, secondary to Magic Kingdom, is going to have, without a doubt, one of the biggest construction projects ongoing for the next couple years. You know, Magic Kingdom has the most attractions of any Disney World park, but Animal Kingdom is going to be really, really impacted, especially after Christmas. Right now they only have 5 or 6 attractions. I don't count the shows as rides. Shows, very rarely can you not get into a show. That's why I don't count them in the list. When I'm thinking about attractions, I'm thinking about rides, actual rides you get on, experiences that require you to be on a moving vehicle to experience. But right now, Animal Kingdom only has, let's see, Kilimanjaro Safaris, Kali River Rapids, Expedition Everest, Navi River Journey, Avatar Flight of Passage, Dinosaur. After Christmas, Dinosaur is going to be going away. So now you're going to be down to 5 attractions. And usually throughout the winter months, Kali River Rapids undergoes its regular seasonal refurbishment, which that means Animal Kingdom for the winter months and into the early spring will be down to 4 attractions. That's going to have a big impact on your experience here, especially if you're here for attractions. If you're not here for attractions, you just want to see some shows and walk around and look at the beautiful scenery here, by all means. But if you're coming here for rides and attractions, you really need to think about watching this. This is always one of my favorite reveals of the Disney parks, is this walkway into Animal Kingdom and how the Tree of Life comes into view. It's not really that busy at Animal Kingdom either. This is going to be another park that's going to be greatly impacted by the amount of closures and construction. I'm showing you this too because a lot of people have convinced themselves that they can't wait in a standby line anymore, and that they somehow justify spending somewhere between $130 all the way up to $480 to so-called bypass the standby line. Animal Kingdom's Lightning Lane Premier Pass price averages between, I think it's $119, and goes up to almost $170, $180. People that get that during the holidays and that are going to be getting that for about 5 attractions. This is our first construction update right here. This is the old It's Tough to Be a Bug show in the Tree of Life. This supposedly is going to be opening around Christmas time. We'll have to wait and see. We haven't heard much. This is going to be Zootopia Better Zoogether, apparently is the name of it. But right now, still work walls. My guess is that right after the holiday season, work walls will cover all of this here, and I imagine they'll leave this around the old Dinoland pathway open for traffic to flow through here. Otherwise, that'll create a bunch of bottlenecks and congestion in other parts of Animal Kingdom. And to get to Expedition Everest, you'd have to go all the way around. Otherwise, you can cut right through here. But as for right now, we still have a little bit of the remnants of Dinoland USA still here. This giant play structure is going to be going away, sadly. This is all part of the refurbishment. This is the Boneyard. This is closing right after Labor Day weekend. So you got to think, this is going to be closed for the fall season, which is very popular for kids and adults. And before it closes, we'll have to go through here. I was doing some history on just this attraction. There's a lot of really cool Easter eggs and hidden little items that are stashed in this giant play area. They have said that a new play area is going to come back in some fashion or some form of fashion, but I doubt it's going to be this good. This reminds me of the Camp Jurassic area at Universal. This is supposedly where the new carousel is going to go for the themed Tropical America's Land. And here it is. Holy work walls, Batman, just like Magic Kingdom. So this stretches around the old Chester and Hester's Dinoland Bash. And here's the concept art. So down here, this is where the current play area is right now. Hopefully they make it cool, like Constellation Carousel at Universal. That would be nice. And then this entryway here, my guess, is going to be this right here. And then all of these shops up here is going to be where the old Chester and Hester's gift shop was as you exited out of the dinosaur ride that is now going to become the Indiana Jones attraction. So this whole thing is going to get completely rethemed. This is going to be the new Magical House attraction. And behind here will be a gigantic show building somewhere. Supposedly this will be a slow-moving dark ride of some kind. As nice as this will be, it would have been nice to have this as an expansion to the park, not replacing current attractions, because this is going to replace Primeval Whirl. This is replacing the, technically you could call this Triceratops Spin. and the Boneyard Dig Site Playground. And the Indiana Jones attraction is going to replace Dinosaur. So we haven't gained anything, unfortunately. And all of this back here, this is where Restaurantosaurus is and all of that. So that's going to be completely rethemed as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way down to where the construction walls start, and we'll walk back this way. And then we'll go over yonder down there to check out Dinosaur, which is still open. So I'm all the way down here by the Finding Nemo Big Blue and Beyond show over there. And right here is where the work walls start. One of the neat things, and nobody's pointed this out yet, but I am going to because I like my attention to detail. These lights, if you notice, are a certain specific color. This one and that one down there. They are the color of Chester and Hester's Dinoland Bash, because they wanted to carry the theming out this way. And if you notice, if you come across over here to the old Rivers of Light area, which they need to bring that back as well. Animal Kingdom needs a new nighttime show to help spread people around on busy times. Right here, if you notice here in the old Rivers of Light amphitheater, what do we see? I mean, it's kind of hard to see during the day, but they have the string lights up just like they had at Chester and Hester's Dinoland Bash, which I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but they carried the theming all the way over this way because technically this area here would have been right across from the old Chester and Hester's Dinoland Bash. So the theming continues well into the amphitheater. That, ladies and gentlemen, is attention to detail, and whether or not they determined it to be that way, or it just happened to be, I still like to think that this is what the Imagineers had in mind to carry the theming of this area over here so nothing looked out of place. Right here is where the work walls start from the old Dinoland USA, and we'll follow them all the way around. Like I said, these are the preliminary work walls. These are going to extend out a little bit farther once all of this work gets underway. This is the old themed road, like the themed Route 66 road heading into Chester and Hester's Dinoland Bash. It wasn't the greatest of lands, but it was cool in its own unique way. So this wraps all the way around here, and then over by the gift shops where you got off Dinosaur, they've removed pretty much all the signs, and the only thing left over here is where you can meet Donald. My other question is, what are they going to do with all of these meet and greets too when this closes? Because this area houses at least 4 or 5 different meet and greets. So if those are going away as well, and they don't have any, and Disney doesn't have any plans on relocating those, again, you're going to go all the way down to 5, maybe even 4 attractions, and then you might lose 4 or 5 character meet and greets on top of that. You talk about a whole different experience. This is pretty neat back here. This is the Cretaceous Trail. This is where a couple more meet and greets are. This is where Daisy is, and then Chip and Dale, all dressed up in their dinosaur outfits. And here we are at Dinosaur. This is going to be the last attraction to close here in this Dino Land. This apparently is going to close right after the Christmas and New Year's holiday season. And just like the Boneyard, we're going to come through here in the next week or so and do an in-depth, detailed vlog on this area, because there's a lot of really cool hidden Easter eggs and some really neat information and some special details that go along with this ride. So I was going to actually ride this, however, 45 minutes, that's a long time, and the queue is actually outside. I've not seen that before. I have never seen people waiting outside in the covered queue here at Dinosaur yet. But unfortunately, when you have a lot of rides and attractions under construction, and current time only have about 6 attractions, It doesn't take long for the other rides to get big lines, and that's one of the concerns moving forward, especially into next year. What are the wait times going to be like around the Disney World Resort with so much closed? So that's the dinosaur area. And again, after Christmas, all of this is going to be closed. So this whole land's going to be out of service for a couple years. I'll be curious to see how they retheme that. Next stop, Disney's Hollywood Studios. Hey folks, quick tip, when you come to these theme parks, take a little bit extra time and take a photo where you parked. These theme parks aren't going anywhere in the extra 15 to 20 seconds it'll take to take a photo of the row number that you're in. It's not gonna mess up your day any. Because I passed a family and they said, "Oh crap, did anybody take a picture or remember where we parked at?" And they said, "No." And one of them said, "It's okay, I'll just remember we parked in Mickey." Y'all, Mickey's like 14 rows. That's like on The Simpsons. Remember, we're parked in the Itchy lot. It's the entire parking lot. Calm down. Take a picture. Don't be those people. Especially now that it's summertime. It's 115 degrees in the shade. Last thing you want to do after a long theme park day is looking for your car. Welcome to Disney's Hollywood Studios, everybody. I finally made it here. I know I'm dressed differently than what I was for the other two parks. It's because it took me a minute to get out here. I couldn't finish filming that day because the weather came up, and then working and everything else. So now I got the chance, so we are here. We're gonna go give you a construction update with Hollywood Studios and show you everything that is currently closed and what will be closed. There was a big announcement made yesterday, which is gonna add to the closures. So let's go check it out.
Here's a plastic floor.
Reedy Creek. Stay safe, fellas. Stay safe. It's warm out right now. It is. Give you a current time and temperature. Current temperature 90 degrees, feels like 100. One more thing, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Humidity 73%. That's fantastic. All right, welcome to Hollywood Studios. So the reason we come out here to cover this is our third park in my Walt Disney World Great Walls of Construction project, is to give you all a little preview of what's going to be closed here and what is closing. Again, I'm not doing this to be an asshole or be negative or anything. I'm just trying to be realistic with everybody. Let's face it, these vacations are not cheap. You know, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 or more. You need to know what you're getting if you're going to spend that kind of money, especially from now through next year. 2026, the winter months after Christmas and New Year's of 2026 through spring break especially are going to be very, very difficult at the Disney World Resort just because there's going to be so much under construction. And I think it's going to catch a lot of people by surprise because you're not hearing any of this from our fellow pixie dusters. It's those of us that are kind of looking out for everybody and just trying to be real that are reporting on this. And like I said, there's not many. So I'm going to show you our first stop, which is the old Muppets Courtyard. That is completely closed now. And then we're going to move back towards the center of the park here. All right, welcome to Muppets Courtyard, everybody. Well, what was Muppets Courtyard? That was the last time we were out here. I haven't been here since. So this is the look of everything now. This whole area is walled off now and will be for quite some time. 2 to 3 years is the estimate. I'll give you a look at the concept art here. You can see they're going to keep a lot of the buildings. Kind of like how I went over Tropical Americas a little bit. I'm glad that they decided to upgrade the fountain there, which is where the Muppets fountain was, which was one of the best ever. So that, it looks like that'll be there as long as they don't budget cut the hell out of this. The Muppet Vision Theater is going to be called the Glob now, supposedly. Pizza Rizzo and everything is going to stay the same here. The old Streets of America looks like they're going to keep that. This is the Christmas shop here. This is the firehouse here. And then Mama Melrose's is right here. And that'll be a new restaurant, I'm guessing. And then back behind the walls where I went for the last night of this land being open, where the stroller parking was. This is where the new roller coaster is going to be, and this is going to stretch out all the way into the cast members parking lot. And then if you can notice, one thing missing is the big building with Kermit's face on it, the Stage 1 gift shop. Don't know how I feel about that one. I still think they should have taken this, put this somewhere else, and taken the land that was already here and made it into the true Muppets land as it was supposed to have been a couple decades ago. You want to hit a home run with fans, you know, both new and diehard fans of Disney World and Disney in general. You build that original Muppets land, people are going to come in droves if you do it right. I can't believe that nobody ever suggested that. It's like coming up to a door and it says push and they pull it. It just seems like such an easy idea that people are going to love it. And like, no, that's too simple. We need to go with something that we're not sure how it's going to do. I mean, this land will probably do well. It'll do decent because it's going to have this big indoor roller coaster. But look at the concept art. This thing looks very short. It looks like it's another like Tron style coaster being short. But that's going to be the only attraction back here. And of course this show here, which nobody knows what this is going to be. Now there is rumors of Muppets returning, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Building with the two, looks like the two ears on the top of it, that's the one that's going to be coming down, and then the Pizza Rizzo sign is still up. I wonder if they still light that at night. I'll have to come out here at night one of these times before they tear all that down. Hopefully they keep that Pizza Rizzo sign. They can't just throw that away. That's way too good to be thrown away. Even the Muppet Vision 3D sign is still up. But just remember when, if and when the parks get really, really busy, especially for the holidays, October break, Thanksgiving, Christmas break, New Year's, and then spring break of next year, you will not have this land here, nor will you have the restaurant and the Muppet Vision 3D attraction to absorb crowds. You got to think about that. Now let's move on to the next project. So what we're going to do is cross over the old animation courtyard area up here to check out our next project, and then we're going to come back to that area for the finale because a brand new project was announced yesterday. It's actually one that I was surprised by it, and two, kind of looking forward to it, to be honest with you. Next project. Aerosmith rock and or roller coaster. This is going to be the next big closure right after Christmas and New Year's, I believe. They haven't, as far as I know, they haven't made an official announcement, but they did say it'd be closing in early 2026. And then supposedly this is going to be the brand new Muppets roller coaster. 45 minutes. So again, this is another big ride. This is a big attraction, especially when there's high crowds. So to take this out of the mix, again, for next year in the winter months and the spring, when you have some pretty busy times, you're going to take this out of the equation as well. I'm telling you, folks, the wait times next year after Christmas are going to be pretty rough if it's crowded. Let's go check the rock shop real quick. I heard there was some new merch regarding Rock and Roller Coaster. Well, they do have some rock and or roller coaster merch. That's cool. Too bad it's a chick shirt. This is kind of neat, the button up. Man, I feel like they could have done such a better job on that. That's kind of neat. That's the LA Down Under Club where your stretch limo picks you up to take you to the concert. Kind of neat phone cases. Definitely gonna have to ride this one more time, or a couple more times before it closes and becomes the Muppets. Man, they got all this freaking cool merchandise, but they didn't design anything for the fellas. That's sexist. Well, that was pretty uneventful. All right, onward to our last project, and then we got to start heading towards the homestead. The clouds are building. Oh, it certainly looks like rain tonight. And here we are for our last stop And the most surprising stop, the Star Wars launch bay / the old animation courtyard. So basically, when I first became an annual pass holder in 2016, that's when Hollywood Studios underwent an insane transformation, and not always for the better. So when they tore down Streets of America, they got rid of Lights, Motors, Action. They got rid of the Osborne spectacle of dancing lights. They got rid of the tram tour, which took you behind the scenes where all the movies and shows were filmed. They got rid of the Animation Academy. They got rid of a lot of things. And so they turned this area into the Star Wars launch bay area, which this is where the old studio tram tour used to take off from. And this arch was the original MGM Studios arch that later on, when they changed the name, it became Hollywood Studios. However, there was a big announcement made yesterday that this entire area here, minus the Little Mermaid show, is going to get completely redone. And it looks like they're going to transform it back into the Animation Academy. The only downside is the concept art showed the removal of this arch, which people aren't really happy about because this has been here since the beginning of the park, since the very first days of Disney's MGM Studios. And I believe, if I have my dates right, September 24th will be the last day that you can experience all this for a while. Star Wars Launch Bay is going to close down, as well as this Get Animated thing here, this Disney Junior. Never been in there, but you know what? Going to have to experience it at least once before they go tearing everything apart. But the good news is it sounds like they're going back to their original roots of Hollywood Studios, and they're bringing back the Animation Academy, and they're going to show how they do all the animations again, and they're going to get rid of this ugliness here, and they're going to put a big sorcerer hat. They're bringing the sorcerer hat back in kind of a different, smaller version, it looks like. They're going to landscape this desert of concrete here, and it looks like from the concept art they're going to put lights in the trees and everything, and then the trees and the sparkles are going to interact with the sorcerer hat. I like the idea of that. Just for notation, we'll take a quick walk through here. Before they close, we'll come and do a full tour of this, but I'm just going to go take you underneath here where the old studio backlot tour used to be. In fact, right up there where it's covered up, that used to be the sign, if I remember correctly. And then this right here was the wait time standby and fast pass. And then you would enter into here, and then you would queue up down here, and then the trams would come down this roadway and pick everybody up. And I believe this was the control panel right back here. Right here, I believe. But yeah, this is where everybody would queue up, and they have all the different scenes from the movies and everything, and it looked pretty, looked really cool. I never got a chance to ride this when I was here. I was only here one time before they tore everything apart, and I didn't get a chance to ride the studio tram tour. Wish I would have, because I'd like to experience it, but it would pull in right through here. It would offload and unload right here. But this whole area is going to change, and back here, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is where the old Animation Academy tour was back here. If my thoughts are correct, they're going to return all that back here or somewhere in this area. Because the Star Wars Launch Bay debuted during the big Star Wars hype when they were designing Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and then after 2020 it just kind of fell apart. It was never the same. And so there's a lot of wasted space back here. A lot, like, this was an old show that they don't do anymore. So it's a good thing. It's a really good thing that they're doing this, because there's a lot of area back here that needs to be used. And this is part of the park's history back here as well. So right up here, this is the last bit of font and lettering and coloring from the old MGM Studios days right there. Be neat if they reopened that and kept that the same. So I'll put up a picture of the new concept art that they put out yesterday for this, and we'll kind of do a little bit of a comparison. But you'll notice, first glaring thing is these arches are gone, which I think that's a big mistake. They need to keep the arches and give us a damn fountain in there. Break up some of the monotony. Give it some kinetic energy, right? Fountains work well anywhere. My guess is the Little Mermaid show obviously is going to stay open. They've already said that. But the work walls will probably come through here and extend all the way down to Star Wars Launch Bay. And then the only access to Little Mermaid will be probably like a corridor or somewhere in there, and this will all be cordoned off as they begin to transfer this over to the new Animation Academy, which I think is great. Hopefully they bring back the animation tours, and it sounds like they're bringing back the drawing tutorials that they had, which is currently what's at Animal Kingdom. Now, the question a lot of people had, I was reading it, is does that mean that the animation experience at Animal Kingdom will be going away to come over here to Hollywood Studios, which personally, I believe that's where it belongs anyway. Not hidden all the way out at Rafiki's Planet Watch. But with it being at Rafiki's Planet Watch, it gives folks something to explore over there as well. So it serves a good purpose there. So are they going to remove that from Rafiki's Planet Watch and bring it here? Or are they going to have two animation academies? We'll have to see. So all the parks are going to have some sort of major construction going on starting after this month, starting in August and moving forward. Like I said, starting in January, the Disney World Resort is going to be under a lot of construction. That's definitely going to impact your visit. All right, ladies and gents, that is it. We have finished our 3-park hopping vlog. And I got to touch on one more thing as we head out to the parking lot. One project coming up over at Epcot. So the other project that's going to start out at Epcot will be the Spaceship Earth refurbishment. And that will be starting at some point in the middle of August as well. So I'm saying, folks, August and for the rest of the year, and then the winter months and spring, and possibly into the early summer of next year, 2026. If you're going to spend the money to come here, just be ready. There's going to be a lot of closures, and that will very much impact your experience here because it's going to impact wait times. If it's busy. If it's not busy, probably not going to notice much. Well, you might. But if it's really busy, you're going to notice it. One more thing to look at, I just noticed this. Apparently they got tired of morons walking out in front of the trams here, so they put up these railings to keep people out of the tramway. I'm wondering if this is going to come to all of the Disney World parks, because I cannot tell you how many people I've seen over the years walk out in front of this. It just amazes me, like, just that people just wander out in front of these trams. I mean, it's not like they're small enough to where they're hiding behind one of these palm trees and they just show up. It's you can hear them coming from a mile away. So my guess is that this will be coming to all the parks eventually. Keep people out of the tramway.